Yo, what's up?
Alright.
It's on. Give me a couple of seconds. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Hey, he just did it. We almost did it again.
You have to double check to make
Have
sure
to
you
double
don't
check the audio.
just have the audio mess up.
Always have to double check the audio. All right, so now hopefully you guys can hear us. But yeah, we're gonna do a spoiler review. Gonna be starting here in a second. So, how was you guys' weekend? First of all, mine was semi-productive. What about yours, bub?
I just had a weekend.
Weekend. We did go see Transformers. That's what we're going to talk about. And has anybody in the chat seen Transformers this weekend? That's what I want to know. Or have you seen any movie? Have you seen Spider-Man? Did you go take your time and go see Spider-Man, or did you see a different movie altogether? That's what we want to know.
Am I better in the camera now?
Yeah, I can see you pretty good.
Okay.
I can always move it too. What about this? And is that better for you?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. I can see you wearing your Optimus Prime shirt.
The 90s Optimus Prime.
Yo, I'm wearing this. Look at my shirt, dude. Did you even see what it says?
No, I can't see what it says.
It's a Tom York shirt.
Oh, no.
Radiohead
I don't
in the
know what that
house.
is, so.
But yeah, we did go see Transformers.
Rise of the Beasts, the first Transformers movie in 5 years.
The first Transformers movie in 5 years.
Technically, it'd be almost 7, or 6 years, because Bumblebee movie isn't technically a Transformers, like the main title movie. You know, so the first Transformers movie in nearly 7 years. And well, I guess are we just gonna jump into it?
Hold on, I'm gonna say, yo, what's up, Kevin? Kevin Garcia gave the stream a like. Hey, everybody, if you're in Facebook or you're on YouTube, go ahead and give this stream a like. If you're not a subscriber and you enjoy reviews and us talking about toys and customs and all that good stuff, give us a like. And we actually talk about our store every once in a while. So, but yes, let's get into this review.
Just jump
you know what?
in.
Let's just go ahead. If you don't know by the banner up top here, the banner
And the title.
is a spoiler alert. The review
Is
says
a
spoiler
full
alert.
spoiler review. It's the first full Transformers main title movie in almost 7 years. And Paramount has learned nothing from The Last Night. They learned nothing from Age of Extinction. They've learned nothing from Bumblebee. And I think I'm just done with Transformers. in
Wow.
modern
So
age.
this is coming from a Transformer
I'm a
fan.
Transformers fan for basically 90% of my life. And I think I'm just kind of tired of this series.
I'm gonna say one thing.
Because
I'm gonna say one thing.
got thoughts.
I got thoughts too. Let's talk about the pauses real quick. Let's talk. There are some
you're
pauses.
going to be straining to find those.
I'm gonna say.
You're going to be straining to find them.
You think so? You think
Yep.
I'm gonna be straining
There's
to
not-
find it?
there's
Okay,
not
I'm gonna
that
talk about a
much.
couple of pauses. First pause I'm gonna talk about. I think Ron Perlman was pretty good as Optimus Primal.
He was not a good Optimus Primal. Ron Perlman has done the voice of Optimus Primal 3 times, including this movie. Each
And
time,
you
he
didn't like
sucks.
it. I liked it.
He's not good.
I thought he was good.
He's a good voice actor, but he's a terrible Optimus Primal.
I thought he was good. Peter Dinklage,
He was pretty good,
he was pretty good.
but his character
Let's-
wasn't.
And then I'm gonna say this: I didn't even know that this guy
What,
was
Pete Davidson?
I did not know Pete Davidson did Mirage.
Yeah, I liked him as Mirage.
He's actually pretty good. And then what do you think about Noah, the actor?
He's fine, I
I
guess.
thought he was pretty good.
I don't really know him much of anything outside of like side
Wait,
roles.
the person who did RC, is that who? That's that YouTube lady.
Yeah.
Lisa, was it? What's her last name? I just know her by YouTube.
I don't care to know
Doing
who
all
she
those
is.
weird videos.
'Cause she
I
sucks
did
at
not
being a
know.
voice actor.
Man, I did not know. I did not know that was RC, dude.
You could tell because voice actors are good at voice acting.
Uh huh.
YouTubers aren't. And
She's
RC
mostly a
was-
face. Like when you see her, like she does like facial reaction. That's why I know from like these weird faces she does.
And RC isn't well voice acted in this movie. It's
Uh-huh.
very amateur. It's you could tell for RC it's a YouTuber doing the voice.
It sounded really like
It's
monotone.
really bad. It's a bad performance, and I like RC, and it's just not a good RC voice.
Mhm.
And Hasbro and Paramount have been doing this consistently, where they'll get voice actors that are like YouTubers.
What about
Like for 10, like not 10, but like maybe like 8 years they've been doing this, and each time it's awful, and I don't know why they continue doing it.
I dug Peter Cullen, of course. He's always great.
He always puts in a good performance because it's Peter Cullen.
I don't recognize these other voices.
Most of
Coleman Domingo did Unicron.
He not a good Unicron.
Yeah.
He just sounded generic, and it's like it's not bad,
Wait,
but
so-
it's not exceptional.
So they went with mostly lower tier actors for a lot of these voices.
It's because like Rhinox talks once and Cheetor talks twice.
I guess so.
It's like there's no
Oh, so he was Candyman. So I didn't know he was Candyman in a new Candyman 2021.
Cheetor.
No, the dude that played.
Unicron.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
They should have just got Tony Todd to do Unicron.
Nah, that would have been cool.
Tony Todd Unicron would be cool.
Let's
Although
see.
Tony Todd already did a voice for Transformers. He did the Fallen.
What did you think about? Was it Elena?
She is surely a human character that does exist.
She
that
exists.
I don't care about.
She.
And I'd take much pleasure seeing Scourge vaporize into a fine powder.
She exists in the movie. We'll
Yeah.
say that. It definitely exists in the movie. Let's see what else we had up there. Here's another thing that's positive about the movie. Let's see. It has a 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 53%.
I agree with the critics this time.
Let's see what
Which is
Rotten
rare.
Tomatoes actually says. Oh my god. Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes
How?
says 52% critic review, 91% audience review. I'm not buying that, dude.
That's not real.
This cannot be. This has.
Oh,
this
well,
is
no, I
not-
can buy it because this movie
think-
there's a lot of fan service. It does a lot of like member berries, and people love eating that up. Like with Star Wars,
let's-
people just love eating that up.
Wait, look at what this says. All right, let's read this one. This is Rolling Stone. So Rolling Stone top critic, he gave it a fresh tomato, right? He says Beast encouraged you to let your eyes glaze over the plot exposition and embrace the visceral nonsense. Beast is dumber than a box of hammers, but it doesn't drip with the cynicalism of, say, Fast as X.
Wow,
Fast
such
X.
a glowing review.
That's
Let your eyes
that's your
glaze
great
over and your
that's your
mind
great
die.
review of that. Let's read another one. This looks like it's another one right here. He says it's like Vista Thrills. It looks like the Bay version of the film settled for fear or awe at these engines of destruction. Now that's not all on the table anymore. The filmmakers are at the last trying to get something more developed out of it, but it may be too little too late. That's the positive reviews.
They're not real. Optimus is terrible in this movie.
Let's read this other one. I'm gonna read this other one.
These positive reviews are very negative, and yet they're still rating it good.
Okay, this is all. This
Ain't
is
that
this is
funny?
not a good one either. This is
I like the movie because my brain turned off, and I got to see my soul die as everything I loved was ripped away from me.
this review is one sentence long. It says
5
does for
stars,
toy
10 out of 10.
robots what the Spider-Verse franchise did for the Marvel superheroes.
Shut up.
Come on,
Shut
bro.
up.
No way.
Spider-Verse is like two amazing movies. This movie was awful.
Okay, let's read what this. Okay, this is the negative side of it. This is from Abigail Lee from the Boston Globe. Literally one sentence says, "Movie doesn't much have going for it."
It doesn't really. It does not.
Dominique Fishback totally outclasses her infidel dialogue.
I think that's
infantile dialogue.
I think that's the museum person.
Yes. Let's see this other bad review. Transformers: Rise of the Beast isn't worth rolling out to the theaters for. Dang. He even says, don't even roll out for it. Like, don't even go to it. Well, I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
All of the top positive reviews are like, this movie is awful and bad.
Even the fresh review, the fresh ratings weren't even that great. They compared it for Fast and Furious 10.
It's like, oh,
come on,
that's really good.
Rise of the Beast is seen as a bit more moderate and enjoyable than the Michael Bay films. Yeah, I don't believe that one at all.
No.
The latest installment rises above most in the franchise by scaling back. In other words, what they're saying
it doesn't even
is they dumbed it down. That's the positive review right there.
It doesn't even scale it back because it has Unicron in it, and he's like a giant monster.
They scaled
planet.
it back. By dumbing it down, we're going to scale it back, dumb it down, make it easier for people to ingest. Is what they're saying. And I don't believe that one at all.
The depressing part about this is that I've seen a lot of like Transformers people say this is really good, and I'm like,
how?
I'm like, have our standards become so low that we consider this as really good?
I think that might be the issue. I think that's what the issue we're seeing is like, have we gotten used to horrible films that we're going to give this one a positive review?
Yeah, because like this movie is bad. Like it butchers Optimus Prime. RC is like all of the characters besides Optimus and Scourge.
Yeah,
are just there. Like they don't matter.
They don't serve a purpose.
The Beast Wars characters, they don't matter. They're just there because remember Beast Wars.
That's one thing. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna go back to that part. So one thing that really bothered me too is they don't explain how the Maximals get on Earth at all.
Oh yeah, they like
no point in time do they say.
Kind of explain the whole like the Maximals time travel thing, but at no point are the Autobots like, oh, you're from the future. What's that like?
Mm-hmm.
Like no one is curious that these are people from the future. Let's ask them about the future. No, not a single Autobot asks about that.
Yo, Zelda's checking in. I'm gonna give him a special and a dolphin button. I hope you're doing great over there, Zelda. But yes, continue.
It's like, oh God, Bumblebee movie. I don't love it. I think it's pretty good, but it's not like my favorite.
I like it.
But
it's like to me, it's like the Rogue One for Star Wars. If you can get behind that.
No,
I don't know.
Like Bumblebee movie is pretty good. It's not like the greatest movie, but did a nice job setting up a new universe and establishing Bumblebee as a new character, as well as just showing how it'll be different from the Michael Bay movies. And this movie just feels like it's just the same. It's just more of the same. It's just treading water. There's nothing has changed. They learned nothing from the Bumblebee movie. They're never going to learn anything from the Bumblebee movie.
Like, how many mistakes can we make?
Yeah, it's like 7.
And let's do it again.
We have 8 movies. 2 of them are good.
And they're gonna okay. We'll wait till we get to that in a little bit, but let me see. Yeah, let's go ahead. So we got some. So those were some of the positives. Let's see. Let's see if there's any really outstanding positive reviews I can see. These are mostly like, this is like, a lot of times, when you go to school, in elementary school, you get that golden.
Oh, the gold star.
This
is the gold star.
This is like the gold star. Participating. This is what you're gonna get. This is what I feel like all these critics are doing. Like even the positive, they're getting a gold star, because if you look at their scores are literally like mediocre. You know what I mean? Like, here's your mediocre, but we're going to put a positive. You know what I mean? So how does that work out? There's your positive, but we're going to give you a mediocre score. Like, if you're going to rank somebody a 2.5, how is it positive? I don't understand. I'm looking at these reviews and they're all over the place. And let's see let's see what the audience has to say about this. Verified. Let's see. Well made with good production value, but very thin and predictable storyline with almost no plot. Not nearly as good as the earlier movies in the series.
And that's a positive one.
And that's a semi-positive.
It's
And I'm
it's a middling one.
Yeah.
It's like 3 and
It's okay.
3 out of 5.
And this one gave it 5 stars. It says dropping with nostalgia, great story, and the music placement was excellent. I am gonna totally disagree with that.
The music was awful.
The music was awful, and there was areas where the music wasn't even there. It would like start and it would stop, and then for some reason it would like carry on in the middle of a sentence that didn't make sense.
Yeah,
did you notice that?
like,
I did.
What are you talking about? The licensed music or like the score?
The score.
Yeah, the score.
It did
was
not
very
make sense.
Non-present. It was very strange.
It was very juxtaposed, and just
especially
all
since
over the
the
place.
Michael Bay movies have a very excellent score.
Yeah, it was totally disproportionate to the film, I thought.
Also, this movie just wastes Steve Jablonsky. Like
It does. They
if
took a
you're gonna-
score and they tore it apart. There's one particular part in that movie.
It's like they bring
where he's
him-
when Noah's talking, and like it's supposed to be like a bigger moment, and you can hear the score kind of, and it drops away, and then it comes back. I'm like, why did they do that? It made no sense. It was just dead airspace.
It's like I'm just talking like you got Steve Jablonsky back in to compose one more song, and it's like why not just hire?
They wasted it.
Why not just hire him to compose all of the music?
You know what this
You
reminds me
know,
of?
because if they compose like, oops, I accidentally hit the
cool.
stand. It's like at that point, just get him to compose the whole score, because then
Yeah.
it could at least have like a really good score, like
I'm-
an original soundtrack.
I'm
could
gonna
be
say
good.
this. I'm gonna say this about the movie. You know what this reminds me of, for real? I'm gonna tell you what movie it reminds me of. A very popular franchise that had semi-great potential. Freaking Star Wars: Last Jedi.
And
It's that
I
bad.
don't know if it's that bad.
Yes, it is. You know, actually, I'm not gonna say it's that bad either.
No,
'Cause that
'cause
movie's pretty terrible.
Last Jedi was like catastrophic and it killed Star Wars. Transformers has
movie-
already kind of been like a limp. It's like Star Wars was you shot a healthy dog, and with this one, it's kind of like you just kind of put a miserable dog out of its misery. Like you're still doing the same thing, but the dog is in a very different like circumstance.
Got you.
Because Star Wars is still healthy. Transformers is
so.
already like in the
Dying.
grave.
Okay, let's read this other one. Frederick J. This is like an audience. This is what he says. He goes, I think the Paramount should have done a total reboot rather than use material from Michael Bay's movie. Rise of the Beast was a very underwhelming story that at times looks much like the Bay's Transformers, but not executed as well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna agree with
it's
that.
a Michael Bay movie, but it has none of the good stuff from Michael Bay.
And it says, although I appreciated the more toned down approach, the writing and originality was not there. I totally 100% agree with that. That's
It
a 2.5
feels like-
star out of 5.
It feels like it's one of the best definitions of corporate product.
Oh, it definitely
it feels
is.
like just Gray Sledge the movie.
Dude, I feel exactly the same. This one
Is a 5-star just all emojis.
this is definitely a fake person. It's not verified, and they give it 5 stars and about 50 or 60 emojis. So that's but they got to pause.
It's all various heart emojis.
Let's see this one. Let's see. Someone just put awesome movie, must watch.
That's definitely a bot.
Someone put I love this Transformers the best. That's all they put.
What in the world?
Action packed, fun to watch. I would definitely watch it again.
Why would you?
Best movie I've seen so far this summer. Okay, these people obviously haven't seen Spider-Verse.
These people are very clearly not smart.
Let me see. This one is totally gibberish, and they said something 2 stars. You can't really read it, but they only gave it 2 stars. It's literally gibberish. But I'm have to agree with some of these people. Was it a great movie? No. Did I have fun
No,
watching the movie? Not really. I actually fell asleep.
I felt bored.
I'm gonna tell you right now. There's a part of the movie I actually fell asleep in, and then I woke up and I finished the movie, and then I didn't feel any better. So
I felt very bored, and like I'm harsh on the Michael Bay movies
Yeah.
a lot.
let me see.
But Michael Bay movies, even up to like the 4th one, the 5th one I hate because there's nothing good in that. But the first 4, I'm not bored watching it. This one I just feel nothing.
Yeah,
It just kind of is just empty.
it's just a movie.
It's hollow. It's a shell of a good franchise.
It doesn't feel like it belongs in the.
It doesn't
series
feel
at
like
all.
a real movie. It feels like
doesn't.
a fake movie.
It feels like a fan film, or it feels like a made for TV film.
Yeah.
And someone said something about the special effects and the graphics about this movie. I'm gonna say
Not as
they
good
didn't.
as
It's not as good. Not even close to what they did.
Industrial Light and Magic destroys.
And I'm gonna tell you, you got problems with the movie with production value when you literally have over like probably 10 production logos at the starting of the film. As soon as those started, I knew we were gonna have issues. Like from square one on, I was like, it's gonna have issues. No way around it. Definitely gonna have some issues. But it was definitely a movie.
I wish I could say I like this franchise still, because I had fallen out of like love for Transformers, for modern Transformers, after the last night, because that movie is terrible. But then Bumblebee movie came out,
and you had a little bit of hope,
and it reinvigorated. It was like,
had a
okay,
little bit of hope.
They're rebooting. Bumblebee movie is a good start.
Could be something.
There's some hope now, for Transformers, even if the shows suck. Maybe the movies can be good.
Yeah.
This was the last thing I was hopeful for Transformers, and it squashed. And now I'm like, I don't care. The reboot is dead in the water, because this is just garbage.
Mm-hmm.
The shows have consistently been just to bad. And I'm like, I guess we're just not going to get good Transformers anymore. Because Transformers Prime ended in, I think, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's been 10 years of bad, besides Bumblebee movie.
Let's just tell you how well this movie's doing. And domestically, so far, it says it's on the track. This is from Mojo. It says it's on the track to do $34,400,000 this weekend. So $34.4 million, right? Latin America and Colombia, this movie did $559. South Korea, this movie did $9,120.
Only $500?
$559
in like the entirety of Latin America.
Yes.
Dang.
Asia.
Even in Asia, it's not really doing.
Yeah, that's South Korea.
Like, China loves Transformers.
Well, it's not released here yet, so they'll get a later date.
They'll probably get
you'll know
a boost from that. But
yeah. But it says apparently this is a good thing. It says like it's blowing the movies out of the water because they're only projected to do 25.
Oh yeah, it was projected to bomb. So
yeah.
Not bombing, I guess, is blowing it out of the water.
So it says it did more than basically Spider-Verse. I mean, I'm sure it did do more than Spider-Verse, but that's not going to last very long. You know what I mean? It's not going to last very long at all. But yeah, Bumblebee opening day did 21.6.
But that was also like right after the last night.
And the last night did 44.6. So
how much did it make? So it made like in between.
So I think it said it made 34.5, so today it's gonna probably make 34.5 or 35. So a lot of people didn't go see Bumblebee, so it didn't do very well because the last night was such a bomb. But people liked Bumblebee, so now they came out to see this movie to see how it was gonna go, and then now they're probably gonna be disappointed. I think this is the plateau. This is the high part of it right now is this weekend, and after this
it'll plateau out.
Yeah, it'll plateau out, or it'll go down.
No, I feel like it might do well because even like the bad Michael Bay movies still did well, which is disappointing. But
this one actually says moviegoers gave Rise of the Beast a minus score.
People need to watch more movies, man.
The same grade as Bumblebee.
There's so much better movies out there.
But it also gave Last Night's a B plus.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how anyone could watch The Last Night and be like, yeah, that's a B plus movie.
I'm gonna say one thing that I thought was weird, and you called it before it even was gonna happen, and I was like, why is this even on here? And I'm gonna go ahead and just like blow this one up right now. It was a freaking G.I. Joe tie-in.
Oh yeah, the stupid Avengers.
G.I. Joe. Are you seriously gonna throw G.I. Joe in this movie?
With the very obvious green screen.
Yeah,
at the end.
You're gonna give me a Fast and Furious 10 G.I. Joe ending on this bad boy.
And you already know that it's gonna do G.I. Joe and Transformers, and then it's gonna turn into Mask, and then they're probably gonna do Rom the Space Knight and all this other garbage. And I'm like,
dude, I'm telling you, when I saw that suit, it looked just like G.I. Joe.
I'm so tired of cinematic movie universes.
Boo-doo.
I'm just it's just I resent it.
It's like, why, man? Why? We don't need that.
We
don't
live in
need
the worst timeline possible.
it. So positive you can say about this movie.
Scourge was pretty good in the
Scourge
first
was good.
half until he sucked in the later half.
Pete Davidson was pretty good.
Mirage was okay. He wasn't great, but he was okay.
He's okay.
I liked
He's
him.
bearable. It's better than Mud Flapping Skids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, Noah was fine.
Mm-hmm. The character. The actor was good.
Sure was a character.
He was a
that
character.
I didn't hate, nor did I really like him. And
Well, Scott.
I sure did like when Peter Cullen sounded like he didn't want to die.
You know, I'm gonna say positive.
Unlike how he sounded like in The Last Night, where you could tell he did not care.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this positive. I got one. The movie theater. The seats were great.
So
Air conditioning was fine.
the air conditioning is.
I'm gonna say one amazing thing about this movie. It's probably the movie theater, but the sound was off the chain, man.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty
Dude,
good
the
sound.
opening scene, whenever the blast happened, or whatever, did you feel your cheeks shaking? Like the whole, dude, like everything was shaking. The whole, my face was like, I could feel it. It was like my chest was shaking. Like the whole volume of it, dude. That whole boom part, it was so loud. And it sounded crystal clear. Like that's the way it should sound in a movie theater. So whoever did the sound in this movie though did a great job on the sound. I'll say that.
You don't even get a cool scene of Unicron eating a planet.
You only get like a partial.
You get like 3 seconds
Partial.
of it, and then it cuts away. And I'm like, I want to see him eat the planet. He eats planets, you know. Do something cool.
That is one positive thing I will say about this movie. They did the sound in this movie excellent. It was like mixed very well. Like you could hear everything,
What,
every
like
every bit of
the music
dialogue,
or the sound mixing.
the sound mixing, the sound, the audio engineering of it was amazing.
I thought it was fine.
No, dude, it was. You can hear all the volumes from quiet to loud. You can hear all explosions were just perfect. Unlike Spider-Verse, which Spider-Verse actually that was one critical flaw that movie
It
had.
was because the theaters weren't playing at the right volume.
No, even the director said even though that it was to set it up a higher volume, he said even though that was the case, there's problems with the audio, which I can hear. I can hear it because it was like the way they had it in like a surround area, it would drop in and out. But the sound was awesome. Another positive for me, I thought Pete Davidson was pretty decent because I didn't realize that was him. The Noah actor was pretty good with what he had.
Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think it's
Antonio something.
Yeah, it's
he was
something like that.
was good with the script that he had. I like Ron Perlman. You did not like
I
him.
hate Ron Perlman as Optimus Prime.
Let me see. And I think that's what all I got. I did like the Stratosphere or Stratus. What was the new Transformer?
Stratosphere.
I actually like that Transformer. He's pretty cool. And they did a same old thing like they did with Jetfire though.
I liked when the Autobots had a 40-foot tall Transformer, and they weren't like, "Hey, maybe you could help us, stop the end of the world."
They were like, "Yo, we'll just ride inside you, bro.
We'll just have you fly us to Peru, and you'll just not be a character."
One of the weirdest parts in the whole movie is when they're just freaking dragging along Bumblebee's body for no apparent reason. Like throw him in the back, bro. Throw him in the back. And he's just like his corpse is with them, and then all of a sudden he's back alive. Matter of fact, I fell asleep at that part, and then I woke up like maybe 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. It wasn't even that long. It was a couple minutes later, and then I got to see the battle scene. But I actually liked when it showed like the Maximals on the other planet. It would have been cool if they would have showed more of it though. Because you didn't get to see hardly any of it.
You see it like for like 3 seconds.
It wasn't like on Bumblebee when you saw Cybertron and everything else like that, and stuff went down. And
yeah, well,
you know what I mean.
In the Bumblebee section, it's more of just you get to see a lot.
Yeah.
Visually, a lot more characters appear.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in the beginning scene, you only see the 4 Maximals, Apeling, and Scourge. Well, in Bumblebee movie, you see like the full Autobot group, and you get a full Decepticon group, and you get a little action scene of Bumblebee.
It was just, I don't know. It was just like one of those movies where we had so much hope for it, and then you go and you see it, and it's like, bro, what just happened? Like, what just happened? And to me, the biggest part, a nail in coffin for me of that movie was when they went to Peru. Because
so I'll just say this: I generally liked about the first 20 minutes,
which was good. It was pretty okay.
I liked most of basically Maximal Planet all the way to the museum fight. I liked most of that, you know. I think it was fun. It was setting up. It was a pretty good setup, and I was enjoying it. The moment they flew to South America and Peru, it like it nosedived.
It did
in
nosedive.
quality.
The quality, like
it's a very noticeable. Like the first 20 minutes are actually pretty good, and then after that, it's bad.
because when they go to Peru, not only did the storyline get funky and wonky, and then like, oh, this is so convenient for us to figure out this puzzle real quick, and
Yeah.
there's a huge chamber underneath the ground.
We-
We're gonna freaking Goonies this thing again
Wheeljack just appears in Peru.
out of nowhere.
He just is in like the jungle. Like you see him driving from the jungle into the temple they landed on.
And then
it's like, where was he at?
And then these fools transforms, and it looks like something out of a freaking sci-fi made for TV movie. Like there's one scene in particular when they're on the freaking highway, and you could tell the whole highway thing's CGI. It just looks awful. Like they just didn't want to take the time to record an actual car driving on down this highway and then put CGI. It was just, that part bugs me so much. It really did. That part bugs me a whole lot. When they're fighting on like that hillside coming down and stuff's blowing up, and it shows that bridge and it blows up and stuff like that. That part just looks so just awful CGI to
No,
me.
it's because it's not Industrial Light and Magic.
Dude, it's not. That's another thing. Not Industrial Light and Magic was not involved in this
when
project.
you downgrade from the best CGI company in the business,
They did. They went to somebody cheap. They basically went to somebody cheaper. It's like, hey, we're going to do it with somebody cheaper.
and it looks cheaper.
And it does look cheaper.
It looks a lot cheaper.
It looks a lot cheaper. But I don't know. There's not a whole lot of good things I can say. Even like
the movie doesn't even explain.
doesn't explain a lot.
The movie just doesn't explain why Scourge
Is who he
just-
is.
Like the movie doesn't explain how Scourge knows it's in South America.
I know he just like automatically
he just appears
does.
in South
How does he
America.
know?
And it's like, oh, okay, I guess Scourge knew.
I mean, I guess he knew because he like attacked Razor. What's her name?
No, because he attacks Air Razor after they've already got the artifact.
Oh, that's right. That's
Scourge
right.
just appears in South America, and at the same time, Scourge is like, oh, the Autobots are here, so I'll let them do it for me.
I don't know.
And I'm like, how did Scourge know it was in South America?
There's so many things that are wrong with this film.
Air Razor just appears.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, she just magically appears.
So when you first see her, you're like, she comes out of nowhere, like no one knows who she is, but she's gonna fly in here out of nowhere.
I was expecting them to explain why she just appeared, but it doesn't.
She just comes. She sees like the or gets like the Energon signal, like she sees it or like can feel it or whatever, and she knows it's there. That's the only.
No, but the movie doesn't explain.
They
where
don't
she
really
was at.
say that. They just say the robots are the only one who can see it.
And
so
she
she
just
basically
appears
goes there.
there.
What if she's on the other side of the planet?
No, yeah, like
Is that saying the Earth is flat, bro?
all the other Maximals are in South America.
The
so it's like,
in a Transformers universe, the Earth is flat.
The Earth is
That's
flat.
That's the only explanation.
no, it can't because it shows that the Earth is round in the movie.
But that's only when you look at it from the top. Maybe it looks like a giant circle,
That's
like a big old pizza.
It's a giant disc, yeah.
That's what it is.
And that's why Unicron eats it, because it's a pizza.
It's a pizza. It's a pizza.
slice.
Pizza Planet. It's got to
It's a
tie in.
Pizza Planet.
It's got to tie in with Pixar.
Oh god. Are you excited for the Elemental movie?
You know, I actually heard someone say that they were excited for Elemental movie, and I was like, really?
I
I'm not
think it
excited
comes
for it.
out this weekend, and I did not know that.
Did it come out this weekend for real?
Or like, no, next weekend.
Let's get some tickets and go watch it.
Nope, I'm not watching it. I refuse to watch.
I'm
any
gonna
Disney
use
movie.
these ticket passes like crazy.
Well, it was your idea. It was
Yeah.
not mine.
I'm gonna go ahead and use these tickets up. Let me see. Not only was the soundtrack used pretty bad, the graphics weren't very good.
CGI. It's not graphics.
I'm
it's
sorry.
CGI.
Well, the CGI was not very good. Let's see what else.
It was okay.
The acting was okay. There's parts, okay, let's give it 50-50. But there's 50-50 okay and then bad. I'm gonna say that. I actually like Unicron though a little bit. I wish I would have showed more of him.
He doesn't appear much for me to care.
Yeah, he would have been
He's
cool.
just like-
You get to see his eyeball.
He's just in for
In his
3
mouth.
scenes, and I don't care. I'm like, his voice sounded very generic.
What about Scorponok or the little beast things?
They're there
They-
for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
and I don't
they
care.
definitely use like Frenzy. They use like, I mean, that looks just
It
like
looks a
Frenzy.
lot like Frenzy.
Yeah, so there's like these little monster
and like it
guys
even
that look just like
deploys
Frenzy.
from Scourge. Like it deploys
Yeah.
from Scourge's back, like Blackout, or not like Barricade, because Barricade had Frenzy.
And like you said, they don't explain where Scourge came from, who he is.
No, yeah, like it kind of explains it, but it doesn't really go into it. And it's
Mhm.
like he's your main villain.
Yeah, and he gets killed pretty fast.
Yeah, he
And then
dies
Optimus
really lame.
Prime's a real wimp at the starting, and all of a sudden he changes his mind 5 minutes later. Like he literally like He says one thing. He's like, "Hey, we can't be using these humans.
Don't trust humans." And then
And
a
then
few
literally,
minutes
like-
later, he's like, "All right, Noah, let's go to South America."
I trust you. You're gonna lead this one." It's like, dude, you literally just said you didn't
Well, he
trust him.
doesn't-
It wasn't even a full day.
Well, he doesn't say trust them, but it's like if Optimus didn't trust humans, it would take a lot more persuading from Noah and the Autobots to bring him along. But Noah just says like, "Oh, it's my planet, so I'm gonna be there."
They're like,
And
screw
Optimus
it.
is just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, just throw him in there. We don't
And I'm
care
like-
anymore.
The whole like people are saying like, "Oh, Optimus has a character arc and it's so great." It's awful.
Who says he has a character arc?
His character arc is that he starts off as an a-hole and then doesn't become an a-hole when Optimus shouldn't start off as an a-hole. Like that's just a bad.
That's not a
character
good.
arc for
His character
Optimus.
arc is literally like, I'm in this movie. I hate people, and then I like people. Let's go and do this. That's his character arc.
Yeah, and like
That's it.
he doesn't like Noah doesn't do anything really to prove why humans are good
Mhm.
besides not destroying the transwarp thing. But even that, like the idea of when it reinforced Optimus's dislike for humans if he sees Noah almost destroy the transwarp key.
I will say this. I did like that about it. They did destroy the transwarp key, so that means they can't go back in time and make us some bullcorn. So I got to give it to you guys
No,
for not making the.
It's stupid because it's like, hey,
You were like, oh, we're gonna have some like time machine action going on, but I'm glad you blew that stuff up.
no,
because,
but it's
I don't have to
stupid
see it.
because the movie is like, oh yeah, we can time travel, and it's like, oh
But they don't use it,
Is
right?
there- they
I'm glad
don't-
it didn't.
no, but it's like
I'm glad.
at some point in Cybertronian history, someone
happened.
would be like, I'm going to use this to time travel and just screw up things.
But then they don't.
But and then in this movie, it's just like, oh yeah, we have it, and like it can travel back in time, but no one decides to do that.
Yeah.
and it's
And
like,
they just left it that way too. But I'm glad they left it that way, because if they would have put it in the actual film.
no, but it makes no sense. Why wouldn't at some point in history someone decide to travel back in time using the train?
Or they're just trying to hype you up. They hype you up and then they just let you down. That's exactly why they did it. That's the only reason they wanted to do it.
No, it's just because it's a stupid idea, and they didn't understand how stupid it was, and they just ignore it. It's like
And they're like, you know what? We're going ahead and not use this part of the movie
And it's like-
because
they could have made it just like, oh, maybe only the Maximals had it, and there's only the one transwarp key. But
Uh-huh.
Optimus has a line saying that Cybertronians in its past used transwarp keys all the time. You know,
uh-huh.
and it's like,
And
so
then
if
they don't. They
So
don't.
if they had these for like a long while until
Yeah.
they just didn't have them anymore,
And
when at
You
some
think they'd
point
explain
someone
it?
would have like traveled back in time and screwed stuff up.
Yeah. Like let's explain this a little bit, but they don't. But that's what they did. They were like, boop, boop, boop. That's how they explain it, just like that.
The movie feels a lot like a PowerPoint presentation.
It does. It's like, here we go. Here's this XYZ. It was just jumbly gobbly goo.
It's nothing.
And then Noah's whole point about it, he's going and he needs money to save his brother's life. Great. That's great. Have that in there. Awesome.
The child acting was very cringe.
You thought it was cringe? I thought it's okay.
It was cringe.
He was probably the script he was given, and
Not
then
that,
at the end of the movie,
Not that I'm saying that the child is terrible and should be like
Yeah.
hunted down or whatever, because like it's a child. But
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have probably gotten someone better, man.
I thought he was better. He's better than Anakin was. But anyways, that's besides the point.
That's wrong.
And then he goes, and then so he's like, I'm gonna go get a job, and he doesn't get the job, and he goes to help the Transformers. Transformers come back, he saved the entire universe, and then he goes to get another job at a security place because he wasn't a team player.
He goes to get
now he's a team player.
He goes to get a job at like a packing facility.
Yeah, as a security agent, bro.
No, because when does it say that?
Because
he
if you
go-
looked at it, he goes to the security guard to check in, right? That's the security guard he checks in with. I'm sitting here to say blah, 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 blah. He's like, okay, I'll call him real quick. And he calls him, right? He's in the back. And so, it's probably like, a manager of security.
No,
or
but
whatever.
they're in like a packing area.
Yeah.
Like it's a shipment
Yeah.
area.
Well, shipping areas need people for security, so it's obvious.
Why would the GI Joes know that he's going to get an interview in like a pizza delivery place or whatever?
It wasn't a pizza delivery.
No,
it was like
I'm
a
saying
warehouse.
that to be sarcastic.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It was already set up there, dude. That's their disguise, bro.
It's not.
Shipping and receiving. They don't even know. They have so much inventory. That's how they hide where they stay at, in the inventory area.
You're just making stuff up for the movie.
That's what they did. Now there was a vehicle in it that was definitely like an old school not Transformer, but old school.
It's a
GI Joe vehicle.
No, it's Scourge's ship. Like it's,
Was it?
It's just Scourge's CGI model for the ship that they changed slightly. Because
But no, I'm talking about the GI Joe area.
no, yeah, it's the Scourge ship
Oh, okay,
CGI
okay.
model. So it's just like a Cybertronian ship.
So now we know that there's definitely GI Joes, and I knew I'm going to tell you right now, I knew that they're going to do the GI Joe tie-in, because when I saw that freaking suit, I was like, dude, that looked just like GI Joe, and I knew it from when I first saw it. It looked like GI Joe, and then whenever that happened, and whenever the guy turned around, I saw his face, like, this is GI Joe. Like, I literally turned to you. I was like, dude, no, they're not really doing this right now.
I already knew it was going to be GI Joe because there was rumors of it.
But when I saw that
But
guy's face, I was like, nah,
when
this
I
is
was
the
watching
GI
it-
Joe agent, dude.
When I was watching it, I was like, oh god.
And then they did that, and I was like, here we go again. How else can we throw some more turds on this,
This is
man?
like the fourth or fifth time they've tried to do a GI Joe movie.
I think this will be the third.
No, it's
No,
'cause-
fourth. You're right, because it's Snake Eyes.
Yeah,
When
'cause
that
it was
movie
Snake
bombed,
Eyes.
I haven't even seen it. I like Snake Eyes. I just read about the storyline or heard a little bit about it, and it didn't make sense to me. I was like,
oh,
nope.
Snake Eyes is a ninja, so that means
Dude,
he must be an Asian guy.
They've run that storyline. The whole never mind. I wouldn't go on that little tantrum thing about that movie, but dude,
I liked when Snake Eyes took off his helmet all the time and
Yeah.
talked.
that's not
that's
Snake
totally what
Eyes, bro.
Snake
That's
Eyes
not,
would do.
That's not Snake Eyes. And this was not Transformers. It felt like it was a movie trying to be Transformers.
This is a hollow shell. Of,
This is not what it used to
of a
be.
franchise
Give me
that I like.
give me Michael Bay. Give me Bayverse any day.
No,
Give me one.
I'd rather they just never make a live action movie ever again.
If who directed this film?
Stephen Caple Jr.,
And now who directed the Bumblebee?
Travis Knight.
Give me Travis Knight again.
Oh, do I know something fun?
What's that?
Travis Knight, he directed Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Apparently Paramount never even called him.
They should have, because
To
he
do
would have
another
did such a better
Transformers movie.
job. Because
Travis Knight is a fan that actually cares.
Bumblebee was a great movie.
Stephen Caple Jr. seems to be a fan that only knows like the Michael Bay movies.
Apparently, because
And
that's the
It
stylistic.
feels
the
a
style
lot like
of it,
a Michael
yeah.
Bay movie, but it has none of the good parts from a Michael Bay movie.
So you just get this. You get this
It's like
feeling of discontent.
Like Michael Bay's like style is already very stupid and
It's
bad.
good.
And
You know
watered
when
down.
when you go see a Michael Bay movie, it's just gonna be bang bang,
Like-
shoot 'em up, popcorn, over the top comedy, or actually
No,
not
like-
even over the top comedy.
like a
but-
Michael Bay, his style is watered down, and this movie feels like a watered down version of a watered down style.
yeah, yeah,
in,
like a
like-
copy of a copycat.
It's a copy of a copy of a copy
yeah,
that has been like
it's that
crapped
copycat
on.
syndrome.
And it's like
It's not like you're breathing any new life into.
no, yeah,
So
it just
film.
this feels like Transformers' Death Rattle.
Yeah.
It's not like
Well,
Bumblebee.
they're not. They're gonna come out with a GI Joe Transformers movie.
Bumblebee
They already made the toys.
brought in
It's
like,
tied in.
Bumblebee like breathed in some new life.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's like Transformers was a dying body, and Bumblebee movie was the like the shock that jolted it back for a bit,
Uh huh.
but they didn't put it on life support,
Yeah, they kind of just
and
like.
so they just like they brought it back for a little bit, but then it died again.
Yeah, we brought it back. You're in critical condition, and now we're pulling the plug.
Yeah,
Revived, and then now you're gone. See you later, bye.
and it's like
But you know what? If enough people go see this movie, they're gonna make another one, and that's what it looks like it's gonna happen.
God,
And
I want Transformers to just die for a bit.
I think we're right. Here's what
Transformers is in desperate need of another Beast Wars, like something that's like just really good, something new that brings it back.
I think after watching this film, I'm wholeheartedly believing like what you said, and I've thought this for a while too. Like, I think we're so used to being able to just
Garbage.
fed just garbage that we're willing to just
That
take
people-
it spoon by spoon.
Like it's been
Your
so
independent films,
consistently-
independent films are going to be so much better than the stuff that you're going to see nowadays.
Like-
there's fan fiction you can watch. It's even better than some of the films that are big budget because
like
they're
the
behind
studios
it.
making these like pop culture icon movies
Mhm.
it's gotten so bad, and it's gotten so just genuinely awful in every way that people cheer when this movie gets made, and it's like this is barely like it's not even barely above what used to be made,
Mhm.
and yet people celebrate it because it did slightly less bad. And it's like, oh, this is how far standards have gone. We no longer
Well, yeah.
we no longer, as like Transformers fans, no longer push for it to be good. We just push for it to be not as bad.
Like I said, everybody celebrates the gold star. You got one gold star, dude.
Yeah, you
The
get your participation
award. I mean, that's exactly
It's
what
like
film is becoming anymore.
awesome. Like, I crap on Transformers a lot because I love Transformers. Like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, those could be eradicated from the face of the earth. And I'd be fine with that if I still had Transformers, because Transformers is my favorite, like, just franchise ever. And I'm very harsh on it because I want it to be better, and because I know it can be better, and it used to be better. And it's kind of just dawning on me that it won't be. Like, Transformers has become very settled in mediocrity to garbage, and it's just it's not changing its mind. Transformers is very dead set on just being garbage, and it makes me depressed it makes me sad.
Do you think it's like they want to be that way, or do you think it's like I said, people will just take anything and like call?
No, it's just because corporations aren't creative.
Yeah,
corporations can't create anything new.
They don't want
Transformers has become so corporate. It just can't. It doesn't want to make anything good. It just refuses to do good. Unless it's something that's already been done before, unless it's something that can be proven.
I think they're taking a same note from all the other films, all the other companies.
If it's something that
Disney,
it can't follow
Marvel,
a strict outline, they don't want to make it because they refuse to make anything new. They refuse to make anything good because that is something they're not used to, and corporate people are inherently uncreative.
They're not willing to take a large budget gamble.
Corporate people love the idea
of fresh,
being
new view. That's what it is.
Corporate people love the idea of being creative, but they're not creative.
No, they want that same cookie cutter stuff.
Their very existence as a corporate person leaves them as a shell of a person.
You're getting
they will never be creative, so everything they make will be vapid and will be gray product. They can never make something actually.
This movie's like a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. You got the flavor for the freaking gourmet burger from we got like here Garage or Pub W or some fancy restaurant. You want that gourmet burger, but instead you get that McDonald's single patty cheeseburger.
No, it's a Burger King burger. That's what it is.
You get the no, even worse. Yeah, Burger King.
It's a Burger.
It's a Wendy's square patty.
Yeah.
You get the Wendy's square patty with no cheese, onions, or anything on it. This is what you get.
Because
that's the flavor you're getting, dude. You're getting this bland hamburger.
The first 3 Michael Bay movies, mostly 2007 and Dark of the Moon. That's a McDonald's burger, where it's bad.
So that's McDonald's burger.
Like Michael Bay Transformers, specifically 2007 Dark of the Moon, or Michael Bay, or not Michael Bay, are McDonald's burgers in that they're pretty bad, but you can eat them and be like, oh, that was, I tasted like a burger and I liked it, I guess. And this is just like a Burger King burger where you eat it and you feel like you're dying inside and you feel sad after it.
I'm gonna tell you right now though, you guys go, you can go watch the movie.
No, this is the school lunch.
We're just
Transformers movie.
Yeah, go watch the movie, make a decision for yourself.
Don't watch it.
Spend your hard-earned money.
Don't watch it because all you'll get is just more of this.
Or you could just take our word for it and just say, I'm gonna wait for that to come on television.
It's a wait for it to be on a streaming service.
Just wait for it to stream. You might be happier. You might save your money. Because if you had to work 2 hours an hour, whatever you make to go see this film, and you might be greatly disappointed. So I'm just saying. And I try to be positive in everything. And I'm telling you, I never fall asleep to movies that I'm excited for. I was excited for this one, and I was pumped. I was ready to go.
And you fell asleep.
And I fell asleep. That's how.
I think that's the first movie I've ever seen you besides Mario.
Well, Mario is because I only had 3 hours
because you
sleep.
Worked
yeah, I was
late.
so tired.
But besides Mario, I haven't seen you fall asleep in any movie ever.
And this one, I was like, dude, what? I was like, I started getting so boring, dude, for real. I was like, this movie's boring. And I've sat through freaking Lord of the Rings. Watched it from start to finish.
I wouldn't say Lord of the Rings is boring.
But Lord of the Rings, it was a long movie.
Yeah.
They're long films. I've seen long films, and this one, it's supposed to be like great. It's no comparison to, Spider-Verse, Spider-Man. No
Yeah,
comparison.
Go and watch Spider-Man.
Two different levels of films.
Go and watch Spider-Man because that's good.
Go watch Spider-Man. If you want to watch a film this weekend, go watch Spider-Man. If you don't like Spider-Man, go what else is out?
Buy the Mario movie.
Buy the Mario movie came out. Buy that one. You know, we should watch that tonight, bro.
And it's kind of late.
It's only freaking 9 o'clock. Not even 9 o'clock.
I have a lot of stuff I have to do.
Okay, a lot of stuff you got to do. Okay, you heard it here. He's got a lot of stuff. He's a busy person.
Yep.
So
I got the Toby and
you know what? Let's go ahead and wrap it up because this whole thing's negative anyway.
Yeah.
We're negative from start to finish. Let's just say this. Out of 10 stars, what would you give this movie?
Well, the last night I'd put as a 0 because the last night,
But you have to go. This is
No, I'm explaining.
Okay.
I'm explaining. Let me. So the last
Let me
night
finish.
I put is the worst movie of the Transformers, and is one of the worst movies I've seen in my life. Particularly because of just general how bad it is, but also the way that movie is just edited and put together. The constant aspect ratio changes hurt my eyes. So like it's objectively the worst movie I've seen in my life, or one of the worst, because it just hurts to look at. This movie is slightly better than that.
slightly.
Because I'll just like there's the last night, which is the like rock bottom. Then there's this movie, and then above that is Age of Extinction, and then the Michael Bay trilogy, and then the original animated movie. So I would give like Age of Extinction a 2 out of 10
Okay.
because it has some good parts in it. I'm leaning to like a 1.5
For this movie,
because it's just dull, uncreative. Like it's just it's bland, and it's not even like exceptional in how bad it is. Like The Last Night is exceptional in how bad it is. This movie is just it's like I guess the best way I could put it is that you fell asleep when watching it.
yeah.
You fell asleep when watching an action Transformers movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna get. Here's mine. Out of 1 out of 10 stars, I'm always pretty generous. I'm gonna give this one probably a 4.5. Not even 5. I think 5 is probably mediocre. This is definitely below mediocre for me. And I always try to be positive, but I'm probably gonna give it 4 because I did fall asleep, and there were some areas that really bothered me. Like I said, with the actual score with the movie fitting with the film bothered me a whole lot. The CGI was pretty bad on a couple parts that bothered me a whole lot, but the audio was really good. So the audio engineering was really good. So that's what I really liked about the movie, and then some of the acting was good. So I'm gonna give it a 4. And that's not a horror. I guess it is kind of a bad review.
You're too generous to this.
I'm a little bit generous on that, but that's what I'm gonna give it, man. So you're at a 1.5. I'm at a 4.
Do better.
So that's
I've
what we're
seen
gonna give it.
Transformers do better.
We want to see Transformers do better if they can ever do better. I think they do
And-
better with more of the animated films than they do with anything else.
And I wanted to love this movie
I wanted to like this movie too.
because
I was actually hugely disappointed.
like I generally am a bit more negative because
This movie straight up had G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra vibes for real.
it really did.
Just for real.
Like I don't like to be negative because
Rise.
I want to like
G.I. Joe.
things. I want to like this movie. I don't go into any movies thinking I want to hate this because that's stupid. Like I didn't go into The Last Jedi thinking I want to hate this. I didn't go into this movie thinking I want to hate this, even though I had I had a lot of like precautious ideas of it might not be good, but I still wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it, and I was liking it for the first 20ish minutes, and I was like, okay, I'm enjoying it. And after the first 20 minutes, it was just like I can't decorate it in flowery words. I can't make it look cute. I can't put nice things on it because it doesn't deserve it, and it's not worth it. You know,
Not worth your time.
it just isn't good, and it makes me sad because I thought that maybe even with all the things that I was cautious about, that maybe there'd be a chance it could be good, and I wanted that chance to happen, and it just didn't.
I'm gonna say this movie had like I said, it reminded me of G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra, and in Retaliation, because the CGI on it was like, had
bad.
awful CGI, and that's what it reminded me of. Those two films combined. So Hasbro, you did a great job tying in these films, because the way you guys handled this movie is exactly the same way you guys handled G.I. Joe.
Universe.
MO, exact same. The style of it was exactly the same. So if you were trying to make it look just like that freaking turd you released back with the G.I. Joe, you did an amazing job. So I'm gonna give you an A for effort for releasing a film that looked just like G.I. Joe 1 and 2, because that's exactly what it felt like to me.
Mm-hmm.
Exact same vibes, and that's not a good vibe.
No.
And I actually tried to. I like the G.I. Joes because they're cheesy. Because when you watch the G.I. Joe movies, you know they're gonna be cheesy. You know what I mean? It's like there's no way to do that.
Like Reagan era.
Yeah.
Super American.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not. You're not gonna be able to make those films look great modernized. You're really not. It's gonna have this cheesy effect to it, and you expect that. And I did not expect it with this one, and that's exactly what they did. And and of course they tied it right in with it. So what I expect. They tied in G.I. Joe with Transformers, and it looked exactly the same. They used Hasbro's logo on it, and it just came out looking like a muddled mess. And that's my review. A muddled mess that reminds me of G.I. Joe. So if you want to see a film that looks just like this or is remotely close to the storyline, go watch G.I. Joe, because that's the same effect you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna feel like it's a movie. It's like, oh, it's a movie, because that's what you get.
That sure was 2 hours.
That's 2 hours I'll never get back. 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours and 6 minutes.
And you know what? I think this is a good stopping point, because there's nothing else we can say.
Yeah.
We can't say anything really positive about it, except for like the sound in the movie theater was cool.
And like,
and the popcorn was delicious.
Yeah.
And I got to spend time with you, hang out.
Yeah.
And your buddy came.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some positive I can say about it. But the film itself, straight up, maybe multiples of those. But once again, this is my time to tell you, make sure you guys come out to Prime Diecast and Toys inside High Five Retro Guys, which is 405 North Meridian, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 73107 is the zip code. But High Five Retro Guys, 405 North Meridian, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, running a sale this weekend on a whole bunch of stuff: action figures, toys, Legos, Funko Pops, everything. Good discounts, and come check us out. Prime Diecast and Toys inside there as well. And that was our little review and rant about the film, and that's all we got to say. And we're gonna catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully you'll come back for the next one, and hopefully we're gonna have some more toy reviews and some more hauls. Tomorrow we're gonna actually go out. We're gonna go see Jason at Amazing Action Comics. Mm-hmm. Gonna go look at some of the action figures he's got. And I heard that Cosmic Collectibles had a pop swap today, or toy swap today, but I didn't even know about it until like 4 o'clock. And I think today was the only day for that one, so we won't be able to see that one. But we're gonna go see Jason at Amazing Action Comics in Oklahoma City. Check out what kind of action figures he's got. And then don't forget, once again, High Five Retro Guys, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 405 North Meridian. They're running a sale this weekend. He's got a lot of good stuff on sale. He's got a new room in the back that has all action figures, Legos, and stuff like that in the back, having a big sale. And his Funko's on sale as well. And I have a whole bunch more diecast out in the front, and the 2 rooms worth of diecast. So go check us out, and we're gonna catch you guys next time, man. Thanks for watching. Peace.